All right, so we're diving deep today into YG's recent show at the Encore Club in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah, I saw this all over my feed.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be like this, amazing performance, but it turned into a total disaster. And
Total meltdown.
yeah, and now everyone's talking about like lawsuits at the club, maybe losing its license, and like, how did it even get so bad?
It's wild, right? You have like a performer who loses their voice. It's not unheard of, really, but then it just explodes into this huge mess with serious consequences.
Yeah, well, and the crazy thing is all the stuff we read really paints a picture of what went down.
Oh, yeah.
So picture this, you're hyped, you're in the audience, 2 songs in, and YG just loses his voice.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
Right. And so the energy just totally tanks.
I mean, I guess there are ways to handle that kind of thing, gracefully.
Yeah.
But instead of just being like, hey, guys, having some vocal issues, maybe we'll play some tracks, or like having his hype man keep things going, YG tries to just push through it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he cranks the volume way up and even starts throwing water bottles at the crowd.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I bet that didn't go over well.
Not at all. It's like he was trying to make up for not being able to sing by getting aggressive.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone's on edge like it's a powder keg.
So then what happens?
Well, that's when things went really south. YG jumps into the crowd, and next thing you know, there's a full-on brawl. His crew, audience members, all caught on video, of course.
Oh, no.
5 minutes long. The whole thing went viral, unsurprisingly.
It's like a textbook example of how to totally mess up when things go wrong, especially these days with social media.
Absolutely.
Man, I bet the promoters at the Encore Club are having some serious regrets right now.
Oh, for sure. They're facing some major consequences, potentially losing their license. Think about it.
Yeah.
That could shut them down completely.
Wow, one bad night could sink their whole business.
Absolutely, and it sounds like they're ready to come out swinging. They're talking about suing YG, claiming his actions directly put their business at risk, their reputation, even the safety of everyone there. But it's not a slam dunk case,
Right.
To win, they'd have to show how YG's behavior directly cost them money.
Like what specifically?
Think about it. Ticket sales plummeting after this happened, maybe having to cancel future, shows their insurance going through the roof because now their venue is seen as high risk.
Yikes.
Yeah, they'd need to build a solid case with evidence, receipts, the whole 9 yards.
Well, wouldn't YG's lawyers just argue that he couldn't help losing his voice? Seems kind of tough to pin this on him.
Oh, it'd get messy for sure. YG's side could say it was all unforeseen circumstances, that he didn't mean any harm, and that the club should have had better security to stop things from getting out of hand.
So it's a blame game, everyone pointing fingers.
Pretty much, yeah. And even T-Rex, the opening act, chimed in,
Oh, really?
saying security should have stepped in sooner and gotten the rowdy people out of there.
Man, it's a whole mess of responsibility questions. But let's step back for a second. How could YG have navigated this whole thing differently?
Yeah.
We talked about playing other songs, the hype man stepping in.
Yeah.
But what else could he have done?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. You're a YG fan, so, his whole image is about keeping it real, connecting with the audience, right?
Yeah.
But in that moment, instead of acknowledging that he's human, that losing your voice happens, he turns it into this fight with the crowd almost.
Yeah.
And that breaks the trust with the fans, the very people who came to see him.
So it's bigger than just damage control. It's about how you handle pressure, keep that bond with your fans, even when things go sideways.
Exactly. Imagine if he just stopped, looked at the crowd and said, hey guys, my voice is acting up, but we're going to keep this party going. Let's play some of your favorites and turn it up.
Yeah.
It could have actually made that connection even stronger.
Right.
But instead, it's chaos and lawsuits. It's a real missed opportunity.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy to think like one vocal issue could actually tank someone's career.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially now with everything being online. Every single performance, every little thing you do has the potential to go viral. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You probably heard about this whole YG mess through social media, right?
Yeah, definitely was everywhere I looked.
Right. It makes you think about how social media has totally changed the whole artist-fan thing.
It really has, like, on the one hand, fans have so much access to artists now. They're on Instagram, they can comment on their posts, they get these little glimpses into their lives.
Right, it's like a direct connection they never had before.
Yeah.
It can build this feeling of intimacy and closeness.
But it seems like that closeness comes with a price tag.
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole other side to being connected all the time.
Yeah.
Artists are under a microscope now.
Right.
Every little mistake they make, every word they say, it's all captured, shared, analyzed online.
So it's a double-edged sword,
Wow.
more access for fans, but way more vulnerability for artists.
Exactly. And with YG, this whole thing is like a perfect example of how fast things can blow up and ruin someone's carefully built image.
Mm,
It's not just about lawsuits, it's about their reputation. It makes you wonder who's really in control in this digital world.
yeah.
Is it the artist? Their team? Do the fans have a say in all this?
That's a good question. Like, where does the responsibility actually lie?
It's tricky. There's no easy answer.
Yeah.
Artists have to be aware of what they're doing, understand that anything can become public knowledge, but their teams have a big role to play too.
Mm-hmm.
They need to guide their careers, manage their image, be ready to handle a crisis when it hits.
So it's a shared responsibility, but what about the fans themselves?
Right.
You said they have a part in this dynamic too.
Well, think about it. Fans have a huge voice now.
Yeah.
The way they engage, what they share, the expectations they put on artists, it all shapes the relationship.
Yeah.
If you're always demanding access, analyzing their every move, amplifying negativity, it puts a different kind of pressure on them.
That's interesting. So it's not just about artists being careful. It's about fans realizing their own power and influence.
Exactly. And this whole YG thing shows how important it is to find that balance
Yeah.
between access and respect, closeness and boundaries. It's something we all need to be talking about as we navigate this new world of artist-fan relationships.
Definitely. And, this whole situation actually reminds me of another case. Man, it's crazy how one incident can open up so many bigger questions.
Right. We've gone from the legal stuff to YG's image to this whole artist-fan dynamic.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? What does this mean for live music in general?
It's the big question, right? What's so interesting is how this whole thing shows how live music is changing with social media. It's not just about that one night anymore.
Right.
It's like a potential viral moment just waiting to happen.
Exactly. Every single person there has a phone ready to record and share anything. Every show is being documented, scrutinized from every angle.
So artists and venues need to be way more on top of things than ever before. Artists can't just worry about playing a good set anymore. They have to think about the whole experience, how they handle things when stuff goes wrong. Like, losing your voice.
Mm-hmm. It's not just about hitting the notes. It's about managing what people see and expect in a really public way.
Exactly. And venues have to step up too, right?
Oh, yeah. Big time. They need good security, clear communication, and staff who can calm things down before they get out of control.
So everyone has to adapt to this new reality where everything's amplified and under a microscope.
Absolutely. But it's more than just the practical stuff. This whole thing makes you think about what it means to be a fan these days.
Yeah.
What are the boundaries between artists and fans? How do we balance wanting access with being respectful? It feels like we're all still figuring out the rules.
Totally. And these incidents, even though they're bad, are kind of like learning experiences. They make us think about these tough questions and how we approach live music now that every performance could end up online.
Exactly. And I think that's a great point to leave our listeners with.
Yeah.
As you head out to your next show, think about all this. How can artists, fans, everyone in the industry work together to make sure live music stays a good thing, something that inspires us and connects us?
Well said. It's a reminder that we're all in this together and we all have a role to play in shaping what it becomes.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.